Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review of another 80s horror film, and this time is the 1983 film The Deadly Spawn. Now, I have reviewed this film in the past, but nice guy on Facebook said, hey, why don't you re-review this? This was a DVD sent to me by a very nice person whose username was Bill Bon Jovi. I don't know if he still watches my stuff, but I do thank him for this because it's a very generous gift, and it's a pretty damn good creature feature flick. What's nice about this and what's remarkable is, this came out in 1983, and you see some of the fun, goopy, gory effects there. This was made for only $25,000, and that's pretty remarkable considering all the stuff they could get away with. This is a very, very ambitious film with a really cool poster. Like, look at that. That's really, really cool. I mean, and this is a movie where the cover does not lie to you. I mean, it's not like this, where this is not in the movie. This is in the movie. Or I should say, like, these things are in the film. This... Maybe it's not as big as that. I mean, maybe it's not all three of them big like that, but this type of creature is in the flick. I mean, you even see little bits there. Now, the plot of the film is very simple, and it's a very short movie. Like an hour and 20 minutes. There's these two campers nearby, and a meteor falls to Earth. They get killed. The characters are in this one house that's nearby the meteor that fell to Earth. And in that house, you have a mom, a dad, a college kid, his younger brother. The younger brother's really into monster movies. The college kid's going to invite his friends over and his girlfriend. Also, the aunt and uncle are staying there. And these creatures, including the big adults or the mama, the bitch, is holed up in the basement. And this is one of those things where for $25,000 you assume, well, for that much money, for that low of money, you're not going to see much of the creature, you're not going to see much for effects. Quite the contrary, you see these creatures quite a bit. And I thought for such a low budget, the creatures were fairly well done. Pretty damn well done. I'm trying to remember who the actual effects guys were, what their names were. John Dodds, who would actually go on to work on Spookies, X-Files Fight the Future, among others. And, I mean, the acting isn't great. The characters are not in depth. I mean, other than maybe the younger brother, just the fact that he likes monster movies. He mentions the mole people and the Terror from Beyond Space, and he likes them when he's being asked about monster films and the effect it has on him, which he says nothing. Like, he knows the difference between reality and fake. So I like that the movie did that. It wasn't trying to be like, well, if you like monster movies, you must be judgmental. They didn't do that. And the kid who's a monster movie fan, he becomes the hero. So yeah, I thought that was a cool idea. And idea for a low budget, there were some effective sequences, like when the parents get killed near the beginning of the film. The father gets killed. You see blood everywhere, including the light bulb, shadows, he's being eaten up. And you hear the sounds of ripping, and it's very like, ugh. Because you just imagine that's the ripping of flesh. Granted, maybe ripping of flesh would not sound like that, but it was a nice little sound effect that I thought sold the sequence. And the people who made Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg. Do I have to call you Steven Spielberg again? Steven Spielberg, did you see this movie? Did you, Steven? There's a scene that's exactly what you would see in Jurassic Park. Remember the scene in Jurassic Park with Laura Dern? The arm is on her shoulder as she thinks it's Sam Jackson, turns around and it's the raptor. the same fucking scene is in this movie, where the mom is looking around the basement. There's an arm on her shoulder. Turns around and it's a monster with the arm in its mouth. I'm like, this is like the same scene. I find that a big coincidence. It's almost like framed the same way too, with like the woman. It's a woman and a male's arm, and the woman's even looking in the same direction. And if that's an homage to this movie, then he should admit it. But I mean, I've heard that he's stolen shit too, like Rick Baker's designs for when they did Night Skies, and he got pissed at Rick Baker, so he stole the designs and gave him the call around Baldy for E.T. And then, he won the Oscar for E.T. Yeah, with Rick Baker's help, and he didn't get any credit. If you don't know anything about that, look up that story. That's an entry. Ask my friend Mike OCP. OCP Communications. He'll tell you an interesting story about all that. Steven Spielberg. So he stole from this too. But the way it's handled here, really cool. And very graphic. I mean, half her face gets ripped off. Very nasty. And like I said, the characters, the aunt, the uncle, I mean, the aunt goes off to her other old women who are retired women to have their tea or biscuits or what the fuck they're eating. The college kid, he just hang out with his girlfriend and another couple just hanging about. The younger brother, he's in the basement, and he pretty quickly finds out that sound draws their attention. I thought it was kind of a clever way where he found out, because he saw something in a mouse trap, and they're kind of looking, and then they go back to it, and they just like, because it was moving around making noise, so he does this thing. And they all freak out. And that's when you realize, it's sound. Okay. And some of the stuff this kid sees, sees his own mom, head falling out of the creature's mouth, and then pieces of the face get ripped off by these other little sludge things. Just, not only do you have the big ones, mainly it's one big one, but you have all these tiny little ones too. I don't know what, slugs, I think is the best way to describe them. Fast little fuckers. And they're like taking pieces of his mom's face. And that's where you get stuff like that. I mean, and this is very ambitious for a $25,000 movie. That's why I've said this before about other low budget films. The reason Doom Annihilation keeps popping in my head is that's the recent movie I saw that I know some people are giving it a pass because they go, but it's low budget, Matt. I'm sorry. I go back and watch this. This is a $25,000 budget. Or you want to say a newer film? Hotel Inferno 2, The Cathedral of Pain. Or another low budget film, Galaxy of Terror, which I reviewed not too long ago, with Forbidden World. These are small budgets of what? $25,000. And they got quite a bit of stuff. In your fun, old school, charming effects that I'm not going to hamper on too much when I keep harping at $25,000. I mean, think about that. Think about these actors that get paid $1 million just for them alone. Now imagine you gave these people $10 million if they could do this for $25,000. This says a lot. I mean, the aunt, when she goes with her group, there's little slugs there, and they're attacking, including like one's attached to a woman's face. Other nasty effects. The college kid finds his uncle dead, and the slug is not just coming out of the eye, it's behind the eye sockets, and imagine the eye sockets empty, but you just see through each one of them that the slug is inside the head going like this, moving around behind both of the eye sockets. And then one like comes out of his stomach or chest or something. Yeah, very pretty graphic, gory flick. I was surprised they got an R rating, to be honest. This is rated R. I am surprised. Considering how, even by 83, look at the slasher films that MPA were harping on. And then you look at the gore they got here. I mean, there's one where the girlfriend of the college guy gets her head fucking torn off. And then the body's thrown out the window. And like I said, character-wise, I mean, I don't mind the younger kid because he was a fan of monster movies, but character-wise, development-wise, you're getting none of that. Dialogue-wise, the only one I could think of is when one girl arrives late to the game, gets a tat, and then is like, what the fuck was that? Which, if you see the trailer, that's sort of the premiere line. It is the only line really you'll remember, but it's a good one. Mainly her delivery of it. And the kid makes up something to fuck up the thing and save the day. And then, spoiler alert, folks, spoilers. The ending of the film, the characters that are alive, they go to the hospital. They know, the authorities, people know what's going on, so they're looking around the surroundings and they hear this rumble. And this gigantic fucking version of this comes out of the mountain. And there's like a model shot of the house, and you see that it says bigger than the damn house. And then the movie ends, so granted, you just say it's a sequel bait ending, but I know they did that just for a punch for the ending. Granted, you don't always need punches for endings, just let the story end. I know technically there's a film that I guess was sort of a sequel, but it's not really. It's called like Metamorphosis, the Alien Factor. I know in some countries it's called the Deadly Spawn 2, but I think might have been the producer. I can't remember who mentioned, well, that was a bigger budget movie, so we didn't want to link up to this low budget film. Well, I remember that movie, and this movie's a lot better. It's a lot more faster paced and a lot more ambitious. And what's sad is, yeah, you had a bigger budget, but this had more monster mayhem and fun. So go figure. And the fact it was done in, I believe it was 16 millimeter. I like the look that gives to the movie. Some people may not like it because they want pristine 4K times 4K. I like that either 35 millimeter or that 60 millimeter look. There's a certain weird authenticity feel to it that's I miss, because they don't do that in movies today because it's all digital. But I don't know, it gives a certain look and feel to it that I don't know how to describe. I just like and prefer. Well, not prefer, but I do enjoy it, and works for movies like this. I'll say that. But yeah, if you want to watch, a short 80-minute old school creature feature with some good gory effects, multiple amounts of this creature. I like the design. It's simple, but neat to look at. And witness how ambition and ingenuity can make you go a long way. The fact that they just squeeze all this out for a measly $25,000 says a lot. And I definitely commend them for doing that. Pretty damn impressive. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Deadly Spawn. Fun creature feature flick. Once again, thank you, Bill Bon Jovi, for the DVD. This is from Synapse. Quite a few features. Has 2 commentary tracks, one with the director and cast, the other with the producer. Alternate opening, outtake reel, a comic-style prequel. Still galleries. Wish there was a documentary on this. I think a documentary about the making of, this how you did all this for only $25,000. That's the one thing missing from this. There should have been a documentary on this. On-camera interviews and such, like, to really showcase how they're able to do this with such a low budget. So, Synapse Films did a pretty good job on this DVD. Again, just a documentary, and I think it would have been perfect. But that's the Daily Spawn. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you in another 80s horror movie review later.